That's right. Hey, everybody. I am here from the DuPont room in the library. We are going live in about 2 hours. And my partner in crime over here, Carl Shaw, right there in the background, doing email, working away. It's awesome. I am just want to take a couple of moments to talk about the library. As you can see, you know, the whole reason that Carl and Renee here at the library have brought me in is number one, just to benefit the community with killer, amazing content on leadership, and also as a not so distant second, you can see the gorgeous renovation and remodeling. I think they spent like $11 million or something crazy extravagant number right there, and every dollar counts, and it needed that kind of a renovation. Now you can see the great job they did, and if I wanted, I could take you down the suite behind me, and you could go down that suite and look at the amazing, actually I'm not going to do that, but you'll have to come to the library. But I mean, you got one room where it is literally a library. It looks like somebody's study. It looks like a billionaire's study. Which is just a great intimate meeting room. I believe it's free for nonprofits to come here and reserve rooms. And what can you give me a kind of a ballpark rate for for-profit companies like me if I wanted to reserve a room for something?
Don't quote me. I want to say $50, maybe 100.
Okay, so that was pretty reasonable, but Carl just said, don't quote me, so I can't tell you what he just said. So he just said, don't quote me, so I guess I can't. But let me tell you, it's a lot more reasonable. And hey, if you're looking to do events, and I have other local John Maxwell team coaches starting to come out of the woodwork and say, hey, Nathan, you know, I'm not in mentorship, but will you mentor me? And my answer to that is actually no. That's what mentorship is for. You need to sign up for mentorship. And Chris Robinson and some other amazing mentors who can mentor you, not me. However, if you're going out there and getting stuff done and speaking and hitting the pavement like I am here locally, then let's talk about combining forces and doing something together, particularly with Youth Max. Hey, Lucy. I wish Lucy wasn't so far down the street in, I think, Baltimore, Washington area, or else she'd be a good person to team up with as well. But hey, here's what it's all about. It's just finding institutions like the library where you can go and add a lot of value, but you got to bring a lot of value as well. Gary, man, good to see you. Gary, man, it's been a while since our mastermind group a few years ago, and actually, that's something that I'm not going to let out of the bag here today until we actually get to our presentation in a couple of hours. But there is going to be an opportunity to join a mastermind group over at the Mill, where I am a member now. And I am putting the finishing touches on that. Don't tell anybody. It's a secret. So what time is it? It is 2 o'clock right now. If you go over to Eventbrite, and you're watching this or watching the replay in the next 30 minutes or so, go over to Eventbrite and you say, hey, I want to go to, instead of paying hundreds of dollars for a John Maxwell presentation workshop at the library, I'd rather go to a free one because it's at the library. Then you can still register and you can still get the heck over here, unless you're Andrea, who's all the way in Florida right now. If you were just local, we'd see more of each other. We'd actually be able to meet, which would be a good thing. So let me give you those of you that aren't going to be able to make it, let me give you a rundown of what I told Carl that I was going to do today. Really the goal of the presentation today, and I hate this vertigo ceiling effect that we get with laptops, but I don't have anything high enough to be able to fit this on. So I'll just keep it static right here as best as I can. But here's what we're going to do today is we're going to start out with the definition of leadership, which you probably know if you've seen more of my stuff. We define, hey Jeannie, we define leadership as influence, nothing more, nothing less. So I'm going to define that for the people so that we have a ballpark understanding that we're not talking about a title or a position. We're not talking about the dictionary definition of leadership here, folks. We're talking about the kind of leadership that you do from the middle. And because I know that some of the people coming here today are in middle management positions, they're in nonprofit organizations, they're in for-profit organizations, and if you're in Delaware, The unfortunate thing, if you're a nonprofit, is your budget just got like slashed really, really far. So there are people working in organizations in the middle, and I'm going to do a little run through of something that we call leading from the middle, or the leadership compass, that I first heard from Scott Fay, one of my mentors. Another one of my mentors, Chris Robinson, talked about it, and I'm going to be kind of talking about what I've heard him talk about, put my little Nathan spin on it. And then the third thing that I'm going to do for everybody here today is give them, if they like the presentation, for those of them that really said, hey, I need to grow as a person, I need to grow as a professional, I can't keep splitting my work and my personal life, I can't be hitting it out of the park at work and not hitting it out of the park as a person. I'm going to give them a way to be able to continue on further, because frankly, we're going to be having some pizza here. We're going to be having a lot of fun. We're going to be, I'm going to be competing with everybody's stuffed stomachs. And so the goal here today is to give a lot of value, but also give it in a way that isn't too long. And we're going to participate, and we're going to have some interactions so that they can come in here. You can come in here, hopefully, if you're watching this, come in here and be able to digest not just food, but also what I'm talking about in a way that I'm going to make you not regurgitate your food, but I'm going to make everybody, give them an opportunity to regurgitate some of the stuff that they learned from me in a way that actually synthesizes it into an intentionality statement of what they're going to do as soon as they leave the building. Because really the point of what we're doing, what I do here at the John Maxwell team, as well as what Carl and Renee and the Inspiration Space and the Wilmington Public Library and even the whole library system, it's not just to give people information anymore. It's so that people can really apply to their life today what the heck we're talking about, because we're never going to have transformation until we go into beyond good intentions, which is what you have in school or when somebody's talking at you. But instead, when somebody gives you the opportunity to think and reflect and speak to another person and listen to that other person and also make an intentionality declaration to that other person, what you have is you go beyond a good intention to possibly an intentional action. And that becomes intentional living. When you take a bunch of those actions back to back to back to back, pretty soon you are not just taking intentional action, but you're actually living intentionally. And when you do that, then you have day after day after day, a lot of tiny intentional actions. You are going to have intentional living. So anyway, this is live from the DuPont room of the newly renovated Wilmington Public Library. I remember trying to come in here a few years ago. Carl, man, the whole place was boarded up. I couldn't come in. I think it was like a couple of blocks away by the DoubleTree. You had a couple of books you threw in there. Right. Now it's all open. It's live. Come on down. You're going to have to find the event on Eventbrite and sign up, because I'm going to have LaDonna here doing registration for us here, which is just a huge gift. She is part of our TEDx Wilmington team. I usually do not presume, and in this case I did not presume either on that team, because we need them for the team. We're doing 12 events a year over there. In her case, she is so rad and so awesome that she said, sure, I'll do registration for you, and that's just going to be great. So anyway, I am really, really excited about this. Thanks so much, and time for me to do some last minute, literally, presentations. Take care, everybody.